Dr. Cutter with the Chainsaw Hospital, and today we're going to be working on trying to get Mr. Anderson to run. Now, the fellow that gave this to the donated this to the Chainsaw Hospital, his name is Seth, and we thank you and your family for donating this. I know this is a special saw. So this was his grandfather's saw. Mr. Anderson passed away. I'm not sure how long ago, but this Homelite XL-12 automatic. This does not have the manual override or anything. Sat in a chicken coop, I believe is the story. We're going to say 15 years, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Not sure exactly how that worked out, but um, what the goal is today is to just get Mr. Anderson running. And if we can get Mr. Anderson running, we know we can cut some wood. So, but yeah, love these home lights, love the XL-12s. They are built like a tank. And I always say, and this is, might be a little dark for some, but old home lights never die, just their owners do. But that just is a testament to the design and the implementation of all of these XL-12s. They're just tough, 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 tough saws. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to get you guys in here. That's enough yik yakking from me. We're going to check for spark and compression, and we're going to hope timing is correct. If we have trouble, we might have to look into that in the future. We're going to check the fuel lines. We're going to check the clutch to make sure there's nothing funny going on with that, and make sure the muffler isn't all blocked up. We'll check that out. Make sure there's no bugs or stink bugs or anything in there, anything crazy. But let me get you in here. I'll show you the condition of this thing. It's in great shape for its age. Missing some paint, but that's to be expected. But you can see just the crust and the grime and stuff just built up on this thing over time. It's just packed. But anyways, let's get in here. We'll get started on see if we can get this thing running. Alright, so here's Mr. Anderson. You can see this thing has got just years of built up just gunk all over it. And an interesting thing, I thought this was a Homelite, or I know it's a Homelite XL-12. I thought it was made in, this one I believe said Port Chester, New York on here. Somewhere, maybe. Either way, but I believe this is a replacement recoil on here, and there's two reasons I say that, because this nameplate contradicts what I found over here, and what I found over here was this says, let's flip this around here. This says Terry Industries right here, and it says a division of Textron, Canada, Pointe Claire, Quebec. So this must be a Canadian-made XL-12, which is really cool. Don't have any of these in the collection, which is really neat. We got a Type 10166, and the serial number is 3313. T as in Tango 375. So, if you guys know the year of manufacture or any more information on this, I would love to know. But nonetheless, that's why I'm thinking this recoil has been replaced, because you can't, it looks like you can't get to one of the adjustment screws. So I believe this is supposed to get maybe one of the later style covers that's actually cut out a little bit further back here. So there's your idle, and yeah, there's, I forget which one that one is. Oh, that's the low, and then the high is hidden behind this cover here. But I think we'll be okay. We'll be able to play around with them if we remove the air filter. In fact, while we're talking about that, let's do that. And look at the built up stuff here on the handle. It's this is a time capsule, we'll call it. Very cool. Cryogenically frozen. Oh, that's not supposed to come out, but either way. Cryogenically frozen in the chicken house for a sustained period of time. So we had an air filter on here, guys. Make sure you leave the air filters in place to keep the bugs from getting into the carburetor and all this stuff. This is really, really good. Keep that stuff all in place. Muffler too, screen is great. If you are going to store them for a long period of time, if you got a pipe muffler, a pipe, actually you might want to plug that off, because I've seen bugs get everywhere. Looks good. Ingested some gunk at some point in its life. There's some dirt on the choke there, so we'll clean that off. It's okay. It'll last. It'll be okay. So there's the choke. It works. That's good. Throttle works. That's great. Throttle lock works. That's even better. Releases. Okay. Sometimes these get hung up. You need to put I just put a little two-stroke oil or a little bar and chain oil on there. Fuel line. Let's look at that while we're here. Feels soft. Does not look cracked. So that's really good. Goes out and then into the tank right here. All that looks okay. This is covered in dirt and grime. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, I mean, this thing looks amazing. I'm telling you, when you see them like this, they usually at least try to run fairly well. You know what? We'll leave this air filter off. No need in putting that back on, because we're going to give her a little amp of epi down its throat there and see if we can get this thing going. Let's see here. Recoil. This, in the interest of the video, this was hanging out. All it needed was just a little bit of cleaning up inside of here. And I did that, so it was just super quick. But man, the thing's got good compression. Happy with that. So we'll go ahead and check for spark while we're kicking around here. We're going to need 5/8. No. I wonder if this is the right plug. Okay. Well, it looks like a 3/4 is going to fit it. So the plug looks good. Yeah, okay. This is worn a little bit here. So I'll tell you what, let's put the plug in place. And we'll flip this around like that so everybody can see. Turn our ignition switch on right here. I'm going to turn the lights off for us. So it might get a little dark in here, but hopefully we can see a spark. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Hopefully you can see right here, right at the tip of my finger. Nice blue spark. I'm good with that. Turn our lights back on for us so we can see. Look at the spider webs all over it. So awesome. Yeah, I love, this is my favorite stuff. Fixing the new things is great and all, and that's what most people have. But man, I love getting my hands on some old Homelites, and or anything old for that matter. Any old chainsaws, weed eaters, whatever, and playing with them, getting them going again, saving them from the salvage yard, the trash or whatever, because I mean, they weren't going to throw this away, but I mean, they probably would have tried to sell it or something. But they were super kind enough to let us have it, and donate it to the hospital and let us take a look at it. Next thing we're going to do, since we got all that, and I'm pretty good about this exhaust here, does not look like anything got in there, no dirt daubers or anything. I don't know if this was sitting for that long, but maybe it was. I mean, the amount of junk that's on there. So let's check this gas tank. Well, it's empty, which is good, I guess. That's okay. At least it's not full of stale gas. But let's take a smell. I know you guys can't do smell-o-vision, but does not smell bad. That's a really good sign. Yeah, so that's good. I tell you what, let's go ahead and put some gas in here while we got the top off there. Man, this thing just has good compression, good spark already. I've got a good feeling about this. I really do. Let me open up this vent here so we can get all this gas in. Don't have much gas left. I need to mix up some more. This is some 50 to 1 Opti 2. Well, maybe closer to 40 to 1. But somewhere around in there. Yeah. That's got a splash in the bottom of there. That's pretty good. Check out this cool addition I made for the gas can. I put a piece of 3/8 low profile on there, so I know which can is chainsaw or weed eater or whatever. On the weed eater can, I actually took some weed eater string and wrapped around the handle. Not for me. I mean, I know which ones are mixed, but if somebody was, if I asked somebody to go get me a can or something like that from the shop, they would know. Okay, I'll tell you what, before we get started, I'm going to pull this side cover off here because um, this could easily rattle off and these nuts would go flying, these washers would take off and go to places unknown, and then we'd be trying to track them things down. So we'll go ahead and take this plate off too. It looks like it's been leaking some oil out. I checked let's check the reservoir. I mean, I did pull it off, at least look in that. Let's take a look here and see if we have oil in here. If I noticed some oil, it looked really brown, actually, like it was really old. Notice some oil in here, and not much. It's very, very low, but we'll just leave it at that. There's the vent right there. That's pretty cool. All right, so we got that. Maybe I think I mean, it's about 90 something degrees today, so I'm thinking from where it was cold and started heating up, it might have just started, pressure was pushing them out. Some of the other saws are kind of doing that too if I leave the oil in them. Usually I drain the oil out if I let them set, but this one just came in the hospital. So, all right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our favorite squirt bottle here, and we're going to squirt some fuel right down the throat. 2-cycle mix. This is mixed in here. Instead of using starting fluid, which we could, or brake parts cleaner or something like that. But yeah, let's see if we can get this thing going. And I'm really, honestly, I don't think it's going to take much because, man, it's like I said, this thing has got massive compression. I wanted to make sure this nut was tight on the clutch so that we didn't go losing the clutch or this washer or anything, and all that looks good. And the clutch bearing feels really good. The clutch drum, this is not even hardly worn out. I mean, a little bit, but it is definitely not cause for concern. I mean, this thing is in great shape. Thank you again, guys. Very kind of you. All right, let's go outside and see if we can get this thing going. All right, so we've got our Go Juice here, or Epi, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hold the saw by its handle like this here and spray gas all over us, and then we're going to take and right down the throat, I'm just gonna squirt some. Let's see if I can get you in a little closer. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do right here, I'm just gonna right down in there, just a quick little squeeze. Set that bottle down. We'll probably need some more of that. But then what I'm going to do is open the throttle. I just squeezed the throttle a little bit, and that opened up and it got it right up against those reeds inside of there. So ignition switch is still on from when we were messing around with it. I must say, there's so much gas in there, I'm just going to set the throttle lock and not pull the choke out. So let's see what we got here. A couple pulls. I don't know if you saw the recoil hang up there, but it's running. Mr. Anderson is actually running. So let's see if we can get a restart on that. I put quite a bit of fuel in there. I was thinking I might have to do that a couple times to kind of prime everything up. But I'm telling you, these things are tough. So there you go. Mr. Anderson is actually running. The oiler is working. It's automatic oiler, so it's just pumping out there. I don't know if you saw me stick my finger on there. So maybe that's good. It was hot. It kind of got things primed up for us and got things moving. Um, Very surprising. It almost reminds me like this thing was was left dry like it was supposed to be. They never used ethanol fuel in it, which is a good thing. And and then parked it, and that was it. Left the oil in it, but ran all the gas out, and here we are. I don't know if the chicken coop was conditioned. You know, it might have been in a garage or something. I don't know where the thing was, but it was not rained on or anything like that. But that is so cool. I mean, Mr. Anderson is running, right? So I really feel like putting a bar on here and just listen to this thing run around. Let's do that. Let's just put a bar on here. So super exciting. Mr. Anderson is actually running. Oh yeah, that thing was really pumping out. Look at it. Um, that's really cool. Oh yeah, that thing was pumping oil everywhere. This thing started up like crazy. I just can't even believe how it ran. Like I said, all I did was prime it up with some gas. I poured the gas in the tank, and it just took off. Anyways, so I've got this bar here. This is actually a steel bar, and I've modified this down here. I drilled this hole out a little bit bigger. So, I mean, it can only be ran one way, but this is like my Homelite test bar. This is a 20-inch, 72 driver, 3/8. Yeah, there's all the information right there. All that good stuff. And this is just some EXL, I think is what it is. Whatever the slight safety chain stuff is. It's got the little safety bumpers on there. I don't know how sharp it is. I'm sure it's sharp enough. We're not actually going to cut any wood with it. Like I said, I just want to kind of see what it looks like with a bar on it. And these Homelite bars are sometimes hard to find. I mean, you can get them online, things, but around locally here. So I just had this extra 3/8 steel bar, and I'll show you once you put this thing on here. Oh, the muffler got hot. Put this thing on here, you got a lot of slop. So what I do, what I've made in the past, is I've made these little adapters, these little S adapters. And these go over the studs there, and they take up a lot of that slack in the bar. So now it's pretty tight. That's really no more, no less than I've seen in some other saws. So that's pretty neat. But before we do all that, what we need to do is put our plate back on, our little guide plate, and there we go. I see some gunk got knocked down inside of there. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way, like a little reservoir for the oiler as it pumps. So anyways, got that in there. Put that in, and the reason that hole is drilled out is to accept this adjuster. And this, I noticed this plate here, this guide plate is broken. So I would like to find a new one of those, or not new, but new to me, one of those, and that way it would be the way it's supposed to be. And here this goes. Got these washers, these nuts. These nuts are 5/8. I've just got a 5/8 deep well on a breaker bar here. It's just what I had. You can use anything 5/8 to get that going. That was really close. Oh, I forgot my adapter. I'm sure you guys were yelling at the screen. Hey, Dr. Carter, put the adapter in there. There we go. Okay, got those tightened up. Chain is running free. Got the plate in place. Yeah, everything's got our spacer in place. Got a little bit of splash of gas in here. Oh yeah, it had pressure on it. Probably where it was just getting hot, sitting there running. I'll probably end up, if we, do another series on this thing. Yeah, it's running. That's great. But probably do another series. Maybe take this thing down and clean up all the gunk and grime, and make sure the cylinder is cleared out. Make sure it's not going to overheat on us. I mean, it's not today, but make sure the stuff right behind the crankcase between the tank and everything is cleaned out of there. Just to kind of doll it up a little bit. But anyways, let's back outside and we're going to fire up Mr. Anderson with a bar and chain on and see how it runs. All right, so here's Mr. Anderson. We've got the bar and chain on here. All right, here we go. We're outside, got plenty of fresh air. I'm just going to set the high idle and the choke. I don't know what this saw likes. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what, let's not set the choke because we already had it running. Let's see what it does. See what happens. Here we go. All right. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Boiler is oiling great. Here, I'll show you. Chain is nice and shiny. I don't know if you can see that. Nice and wet. Again, I'm beside myself. Seth and the family there, thank you again. This is going to go to a very special place. Anybody who knows Dr. Cutter, or Mr. Cadence, my neighbor, and Nature's Cadence Farm, knows that I cut, well, Dr. Cutter and Mr. Cadence, that we cut a lot of wood around here. We burn wood. We have a lot of trees down. We have a lot of other stuff, and this is definitely going to be utilized in the fleet because I absolutely love running these old saws like this and just keeping them going. So either way, guys, thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you to the family. We really appreciate it. Remember, keep your chain sharp and stay safe.